Hey everybody, this is Guardy J over at A Year Well Wasted, and I'm here to show you some of the changes you can expect in Torchlight 2 versus Torchlight 1. Let's go ahead and just start a new game here. Alright, now one of the big changes you'll notice here is 4 different classes. You've got your Ember Mage, who serves as your magic class, mostly damage output. A Berserker, same thing, damage output, but he's kind of the aggressive, swift melee character. The Outlander plays as your Scouter, your Ranger, long-range attacks, traps, stuff like that. And then the Engineer, who kind of surprisingly serves as the pet class or as the tank. He does a lot of damage, has a lot of health, but he can also be spec'd to summon a lot of different robots to use as pets. So actually, let's go with him first. Now, each character, each class rather, has male and female counterparts now, as you can see. And then you can go ahead and change the face and hair, which is different from Torchlight 1, where you just kind of pick the stock character and you dealt with it. Here, because that's kind of ridiculous, we're going to put goggles on a bald head. And this changes nothing. You are going to be dude. Okay, and now you can actually choose from 8 different pet classes instead of the cat and the dog from the first one. And some of the classes actually allow you to change their color. The panther, yeah, white. There we go. Give this the Papillon, because that thing is tiny and fluffy and adorable. And then you can randomize the pet name. Chester, Maxwell. Maxwell, that sounds like a gentlemanly dog's name. And then still same, 4 different difficulties. Now I don't know how that's going to play out for end game. If you're going to be able to start a new game and play on a different or a higher difficulty, or if the game is just going to go ahead and scale all the enemies up to your current level, or if it's going to do kind of a Diablo 2 sort of thing where you beat the game and then you play on a higher level with a higher level monster, so you can inevitably reach level 100. Still hardcore mode. You die, you're dead. You get 1 life. And now, one of the biggest changes you'll see in Torchlight is it is now a 1 to 6 player multiplayer game. They have LAN, internet, and single player. Now, during the beta, it's only got internet games. I have not had a chance to play against other people, or play with, rather. I went into a room, but everybody was kind of doing their own thing, because I think everybody's kind of rushing to experience the single player content. Now, just a quick breakdown of how the servers look. Difficulty, as you can see, it's pretty self-explanatory. Now, game rank is the average level of the players, as the thing said, so you can get a good idea of what everybody else is looking like. And then players here, filter by their level range, difficulty, blah blah blah. It's all pretty straightforward. I'm gonna make this personal and just start mashing on the keyboard here. Now I'm gonna try and keep this as spoiler-free as possible. Now you're gonna see the early parts of the game, but I'm gonna skip cutscenes and dialogue. You can see that for yourself. The story so far is actually pretty interesting, so which is an improvement from the first game. Okay, so I'll go talk to this fella. Are you injured?
I think this is
another big change. I am out in the world. No, you are not bound to Torchlight any longer. You're not just going through 40. You're not going down like 40 floors of random-looking dungeons. Oh, there we go. This time you are exploring the world. Well, this is definitely the Diablo 2 to Torchlight's Diablo 1. Now you're getting quests while you're in the world. The world kind of changes randomly. And actually, this is fun. I just picked up one of my favorite weapons in the game. It is a ship's cannon. Just hold that. And it does a lot of damage over time. It doesn't do a lot of direct damage, but when it hits them, if they're still living, they're taking 2 or 3 times the amount of damage over 5 seconds. So that's a super cool change. But the problem is I can't use my special ability because I need to have a hammer. So we'll go ahead and switch back to that. Hammer or wrench, just a melee weapon. Now we'll go ahead and take a look at this. They've streamlined a lot of the systems. Now you can easily get to the pet panel, and this gives you a whole breakdown of all your stats, something that I felt was desperately needed in the first game, because, you know, if you're kind of a number cruncher like I am, when it comes to RPGs, you want to know every little detail. Another cool thing that they did was they created 3 different inventory tabs. Now, they kind of had this in the first one, but what the big change to this is your health and mana potions, town portals, identify scrolls, all go in the consumables tab with your fish. Still have the spells tab, still have your equipment tab. Now it's significantly bigger, and your dog has all of these things too. Oh, and you can send him to go shopping as well for your base items. That's actually something I didn't know about. So we're learning things here today, guys. Another thing that I thought was really cool, stats. In the first game, you kind of just picked the stats based off of what you were playing because you wanted to use the equipment. You know, if you're a magic focused, you picked focus, you picked MP or mana stats to raise your mana and raise your mana damage. But this time it actually has, they all kind of have their own stats that contribute to everything, whether you're playing a ranged character, melee character, or magic character. Now with strength, it shows here critical damage. Okay, every class gets criticals. Your dexterity is your critical chance and your dodge chance and your fumble recovery. Now in the first game they have what were called glancing blows, and that meant that your equipment was too weak to really do that much damage. Now, I'm not sure if that's the case anymore. I haven't run into any glancing blows, but you do fumble, which means that you kind of, you know, you took a swing or you took a shot and you whiffed it, so you did half damage, and this allows you to recover the amount of damage that you normally would have done. It lowers the penalty for that. Now magic damage is, you know, it's magic damage for focus and your MP, but it also has execute, which allows you to fire both weapons at the same time if you're a dual wielding character. And then vitality, it's blocking with shields, it's your MP. Pretty straightforward stuff, but it's really nice to see that they changed this. The stats all have relevance now, and it kind of gives a lot more depth than the first game. And then here are your skill trees. Roughly the same. They clean stuff up. Your weapon expertise stuff is all on the right side instead of just kind of scattered about. And with this, you have Blitz, which more I think DPS, heavy hitting attacks. This is your pet class tree here. You got the healing bots, spider mines, which, you know, they just chase after things and blow up, and then the blast cannon. Gunbot, you summon gunbots and they run around with you for a minute and shoot enemies, and the heal bot sticks around and heals you when you're taking damage. And then Aegis kind of plays a tank. You have a force field here, which makes it so it's very difficult to do damage to you, and shield bash, stuff like that. So it's a lot of diversity, and you can kind of mix and match, which is what I did with my other engineer character. I kind of mixed with Blitz and Aegis. Which means I'm doing a lot of damage and not taking a lot of damage, so it makes for a great tank. I just stop it. Now, if you'll look here, this is a charge bar. Every character in Torchlight II has a charge bar, and it builds up as you kill enemies. Now, with the engineer, as you kill or as you raise charge, your special moves, like my smash attack here, whatever this is called, let's see, flame hammer. It will do extra damage. So do an extra couple shock waves. I'll show you here. It just keeps kind of exploding, and there are a lot of things that do that with the engineer. Like the force field, the more charges you have, the more damage it protects you from. And then on the flip side of that, there are actually moves that generate more charge, especially in Aegis. So you can actually make it so you get a force field even faster, or do damage faster, stuff like that. So, and I leveled up, so take a look here. Everything's kind of level locked. So far, I haven't seen. So far, I haven't seen the need. You don't necessarily need to put a skill into one part of a tree to use another part, and don't quote me on that. But as far as I've seen, if you hit the level, this is 7, this is 14, if you hit the level, you can use it. So that makes it even easier to kind of mix and match, and I think that's kind of what the guys at Runic Games were going for. They let you use any weapon you want for any character, and you can just mix and match skills as you see fit. You do need to consider that some moves actually require specific weapons. As we saw here, the blast cannon requires a cannon, go figure. So let's go ahead and pick, I don't have a shield, I'll go ahead and pick the heal bot, and then just put a bunch of this, strength and vitality, because that's what the engineer mostly plays with anyways. There we go. And summon my heal bot, Now you just stick around with me until he heals a certain amount of HP, and then he'll disappear, and I'll resummon him. So he's handy. And then they have randomly on the map is golden chests. Golden keys drop. They're pretty rare. They're purple items. So if you play Torchlight 1, you know the purple is the rarest. And they still have epics. If you drop the key, so cool. What to expect with that? The epics are the elites, which give you reputation, and if you level up your reputation, you get an extra skill point. It's not a full level up, but it's a little bonus, so you can keep working on your skill points. Things go pretty easy. Level up very fast in theory. The game moves a lot quicker than the first game, I feel. Get out of here. I'm just gonna try and rush back to these guys and try and get into town. Show you a few more things. Yeah, this is cool. This has helped me tremendously because sometimes you're just in the middle of fighting a ton of guys and you kind of forget you level up. But whenever you hit a load screen, it will show you up in the top left and right corners how many stat points you have and how many skill points you have. Fishing is still here, so you can fish to your heart's content. They didn't really change it much, which is a little bit of a bummer. I'll show you that real quick. Still this, wait till the circle reaches the inner circle and then pull it out. There we go. Did I whiff that? Nope. I did not get a fish, so that sucks. One of the most pleasant surprises in the game for me was shared stashes back, and you can see here I've been saving up a few things, which is great because, if you have several characters and you want to share between them, instead of having to get some friends together and go, hey, will you wait here while I switch out my character and go get my, my mule character who's holding everything I own. You just put it in a shared stash, swap your characters, give it to them. No problem. Every character you use can access the shared stash, so you can just trade between them effortlessly. And of course your regular stash, which is still relatively small. Yeah. And so far the game's been really great. You get to there are a lot of dungeons, a lot of side quests just kind of sitting out in the world. You don't have to do them. You can do them. The areas are very big. The story is actually interesting, as I said before. Where the first game was just kind of story felt a little throwaway, in my opinion. But in this one, it's pretty. I think it's pretty well done. As you can hear, that the music is just as good as it was in the last game, and the graphics look great. They really took the art style and took it kind of to the next level. See them, nice running water, great color scheme. It just has a very cool look to it. They still kept another thing I should mention. You can still send your pet up to sell everything for you. So unlike a lot of other action RPGs, loot-driven action RPGs, you don't have to keep coming back to town to sell all your items. So you just fill up on all your items. You shift click it or just drag it over and give it to your dog or your giant lizard or your bird, whatever. And then if you're outside of town, just hit this little button and it'll send your animal on its way, his or her way, and the animal will sell it for you and then come right back to you and help you fight. So it's Torchlight. If you played Torchlight 1, you've got a lot to look forward to, kind of what to expect, but they've made a lot of great and subtle improvements. And then if you've never played Torchlight before, but you love action RPGs, this is a great game. They take a lot of the genre tropes and kind of change it up. They just make it more fun. Enemies, enemies die pretty quickly. You can up the difficulty if they're too quick for you. Send your pet to go sell things for you. Use any weapon you want, or just focus on specific weapons. It's just a great game, and I'm really looking forward to this coming out. And I'll be making several more videos to kind of give you more class breakdowns as time goes on. So thanks for watching the video.